Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
A teenage driver who fell asleep at the wheel of her delivery van before fatally plowing into an elderly couple while under the influence of cocaine has been jailed for 3 years and 5 months. Jessica Higgs, then 19, had cocaine in her system 36 hours after taking the drug at a weekend party in May 2023. On Friday, Higgs, now 20, was jailed after she admitted causing death by careless driving while over the limit for a controlled drug. Taunton Crown Court heard that Higgs had driven from Salisbury, Wiltshire, to Axminster, Devon, taking 2 hours. She then had a nap and a break before setting off on her return journey. But as she drove her Mercedes van on the A303 at Camel Hill near Yeovilton, Somerset, she momentarily fell asleep at the wheel and drifted across the 50 miles per hour road carriageway into the westbound lane of Tony Mist and his partner Thelma Hughes, who were both 69 years old. The court heard Higgs, from Warminster, Wilts, had been driving well before she dozed off. After the crash, she was pulled from the van by another driver and she told him, "I fell asleep." Higgs, from Warminster, was found to be over the specified limit for benzoylecgonine, a metabolite of cocaine, when her blood was tested at 8 p.m. that day. Father of 2 Mr. Mist died at the scene and grandmother of 5 Miss Hughes died the next day in hospital. The couple, both 69, from Mitchett, Surrey, were on their way to Charmouth, Dorset, for a glamping trip to celebrate Mr. Mist's 70th birthday 2 days later. Their relatives were in court and gave victim personal statements to the judge. They said their deaths were entirely preventable and they left this world in the most callous ways. The electrical apprentice pleaded guilty to 2 counts of causing death by careless driving while under the influence of drugs. Judge Paul Cook jailed her and banned her from driving for 5 years from the time she is released from prison. Defense barrister Malcolm Galloway told the court Higgs, who has no previous convictions, had only had her license for 9 months. He said she had taken cocaine at a party on the Saturday night and had left for work early on the Monday morning after an early night to bed. He told her, there was a catastrophic head-on collision which resulted in their deaths. You were also injured. What all the impact statements make clear is the heartbreaking devastation that has been suffered by the family members and those who loved them. They say these were 2 people with so much more life to live for and to give. The judge said character statements provided for Higgs described her as caring, loving and thoughtful. He added, while physically you have recovered, you are consumed by guilt and remorse and described as a shell of the person you were. The judge said Higgs, who wept throughout the court hearing, was driving within the speed limit and other motorists did not note anything unusual until the van drifted across the road. He told Higgs, I accept that you didn't know you had cocaine still in your blood. However, nodding off as you did was a consequence of being overtired. The court heard Higgs went to a party on May 13th and took cocaine, last consuming the drug in the early hours of May 14th, around 36 hours before the crash. She went to bed early that day and awoke at 6 a.m. before being collected for work at 6:25 a.m. Later that morning, she was tasked with driving her work van from Salisbury to Axminster. Higgs picked up a water pump at Axminster and had an hour's rest before setting off to drive back to Salisbury at 2 p.m. Prosecuting Rupert Russell said Mr. Mist would not have had the time or space to avoid the collision once Higgs' van had crossed over the white line. He told the court Higgs had been up all night on the Saturday to Sunday taking cocaine which had caused her to be tired. It is the tiredness which clearly led to this tragedy, Mr. Russell said. The court heard Mr. Mist and Ms. Hughes had been together for 30 years and were both due to celebrate their milestone 70th birthdays shortly after the collision. Kate Corey, Ms. Hughes's daughter, described how they had been traveling to Charmouth for a much-anticipated glamping holiday for Mr. Mist's birthday before celebrating Ms. Hughes's birthday with a theater trip. She added, their 30-year love story came to an abrupt end far too soon and that's something none of us will